What is up, everybody? We are here with Head of Talent Relations of AEW superstar, member of SCU, who has literally held every tag team belt that has meaning on planet Earth. You may know him as Curryman, but we all know him as Christopher Daniels. How you doing today, sir?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for giving away the secret that I'm head of talent relations. Now, if I get bombarded by requests for a job, I'm going to send it to you. So, hello, everyone. How's it going?
How's life treating you, and how's the COVID situation down where you are?
Honestly, life is treating me well. I feel like AEW has uh, handled the COVID pandemic with a lot of grace and a lot of poise. We've done our very best to keep all of the wrestlers healthy and all of our production staff and all the people that work for us very healthy. And I feel like we've had very minimal uh, problems once we started undertaking these health specifications that we're dealing with now. We've had very few problems with it, so we're very lucky. And it's a day by day thing. We're working every day to keep everybody safe and healthy.
Awesome. We will hop right into this with Sarah. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Christopher?
Hi, hi, Sarah. How are you today? Thanks for coming on.
Good. So I noticed you got a lot of comics in the background there. So one question that pops up to mind is, if you could have any one comic that you don't have now, what's your holy grail if money's no object?
Definitely Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Um, I started looking around on eBay for that, and usually a good copy is in upwards of like $3,000. So it's just, and it's not that I think I could afford that, but I think it'd be difficult to justify buying that to my wife and children who, enjoy eating food and having the lights on. So spending $3,000 on a comic, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just haven't found it yet. The time I haven't found the right time to uh, put the money down and actually buy it. But that's probably it. Giant size X-Men #1, first appearance of all the X-Men too. That's a good one that I'd love to get.
All right, and follow-up question. When you first got into wrestling, did you ever imagine yourself in a backstage role, like either producing or head of talent relations?
No, I don't think anybody, when they first start out, I don't think they're looking at what they're going to do after they retire. When you first start, your dreams are about everything you're going to do inside of the ring. But I think once I got to Ring of Honor, once I got to TNA, and I started working with a lot of the people behind the scenes, because that's really the first place where I've had to deal with people like agents, the idea of people like helping me produce my matches. That's when you start to think about, okay, well, this is something that I can do after I'm done being the guy in the ring. I can help the talent in the ring sort of tell their stories the right way, make the most out of everything that they do. And that's sort of where I started thinking about it. And now that I'm at AEW, I'm certainly doing a lot more of that than I had been, except for like Ring of Honor to the end. I was doing a lot of it there as well. But now it's really the majority of my time is spent behind the scenes.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
Sarah.
coming out.
We will go to Tim. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hello, Tim.
You hear me?
I
Hey,
can.
Chris, how you doing?
Great. How are you today?
So I've been watching this since like Impact and like A&W. What's your like craziest match you ever had in Impact and A&W?
Craziest match I had in Impact was probably the last man standing match I had with AJ Styles. I can't remember off the top of my head the pay-per-view it was on, but it was right around the time that Bad Influence was becoming a thing. And, I just remember us fighting all over the Impact Zone, both of us bleeding profusely. The finish of the match was a Styles Clash off the ramp through a table. I haven't really had a crazy match in AEW yet. I will say that the craziest match I ever had in Ring of Honor was the Ladder War with myself and Frankie Kazarian, Young Bucks, and the Motor City Machine Guns. That definitely was a life-altering moment for me, that particular match.
Yeah, because I remember when you were Elix against America's Most Wanted.
Right. Yeah. But that was really crazy for Elix. I was really, the night he walked the cage, that was a crazy match as well. And certainly very brutal. But I think that was more memorable for Elix in the sense of him walking the cage. I think that's the moment that everybody remembers, and rightfully so. It's never been duplicated, and I don't think anyone ever will.
But in the future, if you were a wrestler, would you be like Elix and walk the cage or something like?
I can't imagine. No, I can't say that I was ever graceful enough to walk the cage, but I am willing to do pretty much anything. If the circumstances called for it, I've sacrificed blood. I've sacrificed my health for professional wrestling, and depending on what the stakes in the match are, I'd never say no to a lot of things. So,
Cool. Thanks for meeting.
Thanks, Tim.
thanks, man.
So, Chris, we're going to cut to a little segment. I'm going to hop off,
we have
and a
a
little
segment.
guy
Okay.
named Steven is going to hop on and ask you a couple questions.
Okay, sounds good.
What's up, Christopher Daniels? I thank you.
Hey, how are
and
you? Hello,
this means a
sir.
lot. Hello, I'm good, and I wanted to say thank you for
Thank
doing
you,
this.
Steven. I appreciate you.
It means a lot, and I wanted to say my first question is: you fought a lot of wrestlers around the world. Who was your toughest fight and why?
Ooh, probably the toughest fight I had was probably Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's one of the toughest men I've ever been in the ring with, and he was always someone that caused me a lot of problems. I very rarely beat Joe in a wrestling match, and when I did, I definitely felt like I earned it. Joe was just very tough, and you couldn't look at Joe and know how fast and how strong he was. He just was much stronger, much faster than he looked. And I think that's something that a lot of people deal with. They assume that he's going to be as big as he is, this slow guy, but he's very fast and very smart as far as like how he fights. He's got a lot of martial arts background, and he used that a lot. So probably my toughest fight was always with Joe.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, in case you run into him. Yeah, you don't want to fight him.
If you could work with any wrestler in the world that's not signed with AEW, who would it be? And why?
Wow. That's a great question. I think I'd like an opportunity to wrestle Finn Balor. I only ever wrestled him in a tag match a long time ago in the past, but I feel like Finn is someone that I could match up well with. And, I respect his ability, and I think he's a great wrestler. So as someone who I've watched over the years sort of grow and become as good as he is now, I think it would be a great challenge for me to wrestle him.
Okay. I think Finn's a good wrestler too. I agree with you.
Okay, I'm glad.
The last question. You fought in big arenas all over the world. What did it feel like? Because when you went back to Destiny in a small arena.
Well, do you mean going back to like with the pandemic small arenas, or what do you mean? Is that what you meant?
Icons too. Last year.
Okay, all right. Well, last year when I went back to the independent and worked smaller places, it was fun because I got to see more of the fans up close. Like one of the things that wrestling in the big arena is like there's a lot of energy there because there are a lot of people, but you don't always get to see face to face the fans that have been there. And I don't think any of us professional wrestling would be where we are today if it wasn't for the support of fans, especially fans like yourself who are interacting with me on this thing. So like when I go to smaller arenas and I get an opportunity to see the fans face to face and I get to hear them and when they talk about what it means to come and meet their favorite wrestlers, whether I'm their favorite wrestler or not, when you hear that from them, you know that like you've put a lot of effort into your career and you know that it's paying off because people are paying to see you, people are coming to see you, and that means a lot.
Okay. That was nice. That's nice to know. And thank you one more time. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Steven.
Last question.
Oh, there's no other. Okay. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, after COVID-19's over, can you bring AEW to Toronto, please?
We're doing our very best, man. As soon as this pandemic is over, we're planning on traveling again, not just through the United States. We know we have a lot of fans in Canada, and we hope to come up there soon. So just stay healthy until then, okay?
Thanks, Steven.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bud.
Chris, a lot of people talking about TNA, obviously. I'm going to take it back a little bit earlier
Okay.
to WCW. You had a match with
boy.
Chris Candido.
Yes.
How was any of your interactions with Chris Candido?
Chris Candido was great. That was the first time I'd got an opportunity to work with him in WCW. And originally that match was supposed to be myself versus Rey Mysterio. But at the time, Rey hadn't been cleared to wrestle. And so they decided to put me with Chris Candido, who was very giving and he was very good to me. Like, I had just signed there, but, not a lot of people knew who I was, understandably, because that was my first big contract with WCW. But he gave me the opportunity to show my best stuff on that worldwide match. And, unfortunately, my WCW career wasn't what I had hoped it was. But that was one of the high points, was getting a chance to work with Chris. And then later down the line, he came into TNA and was a great he was a great resource for a lot of the younger guys at that point. And I saw him work a lot with younger guys, trying to help them get better. And he was always someone that I respected for that.
Awesome. We will say hi to Dennis.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Well, I'm nervous right now because my White Sox are about ready to be eliminated. So, but other than that, I'm well. So,
Okay.
First off, before I ask my questions, I just wanted to show you. Thank you for signing this for me. My friend Jimmy, who used to work for Challengers out in Chicago, got this
awesome.
for me, and you signed it for my birthday. So, thank you so much for that.
Thanks for buying it. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Somebody had alluded to the match at Turning Point 2004, the cage match. So I'm not going to rehash that. But
Okay.
one thing I want to ask you that's TNA related is you had that program with Sting, and it seemed like it was kind of stopped before it even got started. And can you go into a little bit of detail what happened with that?
Yeah, I just felt like I don't think, for whatever reason, I don't think I was ever really taken seriously as a worthwhile opponent for Sting. I always felt like whenever I was in the middle of the feud with him, he was always dealing with other things as well as me. And, I was a little disappointed in that. But, I mean, that's sort of what happens sometimes. You get an opportunity to do something, but you don't have 100% of the input on what you do. And decisions are made sometimes above your head. So, I mean, for me, I tried to make the best of it as I could. And I felt like I worked well with Sting, and I felt like he enjoyed working with me. So it just was the lay of the land at that point.
Gotcha. And then my last question is there any chance we'll ever see Curryman show up in AEW?
Well, right now he can't get into the U.S. So, I mean, as soon as the border's open, I'll look into it. He always had visa issues, so I'll have to send an email and see if he's gotten those resolved yet. But never say never, man.
Awesome. Well, hey, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done for us fans over the years, and best of luck to you in the future with AEW.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. We will say hi to Russell.
Deathmatch Russell.
Deathmatch Russell.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Christopher.
Hi,
Daniels,
I'm regular
long time
Match
no
Christopher.
see,
Nice to
my
meet you.
friend. I know, longtime fan of yours from Jersey All Pro days
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
and Phoenix Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
But fast forward now. Look where you are now, Chris. On TV.
In my living room. Yep.
I know, and I just want to say, just congratulations and keep on doing what you do, my friend.
I'm doing my best. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
That was it? No question? Okay.
Russell, you have a question?
I
Oh,
can
well.
ask as many questions.
What?
I guess not.
That was so
I'll
weird.
take compliments too. I'll answer any questions, but if it's just compliments, I'm okay with that.
I know someone who's going to have compliments and questions. We will go
Okay.
to Dan Smith. What's up, buddy?
You're right there, Jacob. You're right, CD.
Hello, Dan.
How you doing?
Great, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for your time as well, CD. My question is, what has been your best in your career?
My best match?
Anything in your career?
Okay, well, I feel like when it comes to best matches, I feel like there's two that people always go toward. There's always myself and AJ Styles and Samoa Joe at Unbreakable in 2005. And I feel like most recently people look at Ladder War between myself and Frankie and the Motor City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks as the two high points. But honestly, I feel like those definitely get the most publicity, but I also feel like a lot of the stuff that I did with AJ back in the day, the Iron Man match, all the singles matches that we ever had, the times that I wrestled him for the TNA World Championship, those also stand out to me. The stuff that I did with Samoa Joe also stands out as stuff that I enjoyed, stuff that I had fun with. And honestly, the last couple of years, tagging with Frankie and having Scorpio Sky join SCU, like this has been the most fun in the last couple of years, having those two guys by my side and going through the end of the, our Ring of Honor careers and the beginning as AEW together. That's been the highlight for me.
Yeah, because I love SCU, and I'm wearing your shirt right now.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, we're back.
What has been your best match in AEW?
I appreciate it. Thanks for that.
What's your best match you've done in AEW as well, CD?
It's the best match that I have so far to me. I got a chance to wrestle Jon Moxley on the Chris Jericho cruise in January, and this was right before he became world champion, and I felt like I took him to the limit. And I'd like an opportunity to wrestle him again. I had a really good match with Sonny Kiss on AEW Dark not too long ago that I'm very proud of. I think Sonny's a great wrestler, and I was very happy that I was able to beat him, and I don't know if I'll be able to do that again if I ever wrestle him again. So,
my last final question, CD, is what's it like being part of being the Elite?
It's great, man. The show is always fun. Working with the Buck and me sometimes. It's cool to be able to show your comedic outlet, your comedic, your strengths on something like being the Elite. So I mean, it's a lot of fun that when we get a chance to do something and show the fans sort of the other side of us.
I love it. I watch it every week, and I love seeing you and Frankie and Sky as well. You three are my favorites in AEW.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Can I just get one more thing, CD? Can I get a real big SC effing you? Because I love it.
Oh man, my wife's taking a nap, man. I don't know how loud I can get. How about if I just I'll give you the hand symbol. There's an S, there's a C, there's the U. I see you.
I see you. Cheers,
Thanks,
Chris.
Dan.
Cheers, Jacob.
Cheers, bud.
Peace. Cheers, buddy.
Chris, I'm gonna ask. So, with a few of the guests we already had, and just with the dirt sheets and such, you're known as someone who's very positive and someone who's always been a positive person. How is it? How is that navigating such a what people perceive to be a negative landscape in like the backstage wrestling community, which obviously has gotten a lot better as of late, but in those early years it was known to be like really ruckus and party and stuff like that. How'd you navigate those days?
Well, I personally, like, I feel like part of the thing in the back in the day was there was a lot of pressure to sort of grew up dealing with that. Now that we're sort of in positions where, like, we're looked at as the veterans, we feel like it's better to just sort of not have that sort of landscape. You know what I mean? Like have that. If you don't promote that sort of atmosphere, it sort of dies off. And so I feel like it's much better to promote more of a positive atmosphere backstage. And I feel like a lot of the guys, it's more of a maturity thing to me. Like, people, they're much more mature about what they do. They're not going out and being rambunctious and sort of doing what they want to do at the be level-headed and calm and composed and enjoy myself without causing consternation to anyone around me.
Awesome. We're gonna go to we will see Oliver. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Hi, Christopher. Thanks for doing
Hello,
this with
sir.
us, man.
My
How
pleasure.
you doing today?
Great.
I got a two-part question. Curryman.
Okay.
Who came up with that? Was that you, or was that the creative team in TNA?
It was not even. It was neither one of those. Curryman was created in Michinoku Pro in 1999. I did the character there for about 4 years, and all the stuff that I did in TNA with Curryman, like that was my idea, but the character itself was created overseas, and so I feel very possessive of that particular aspect of the character, because I feel like that's the part of Curryman that I think everybody knows. Not everybody knows the stuff that I did in Japan, but I know that when TNA was the thing, when I was there at TNA, there was a great audience for Curryman, and so I feel like when everybody thinks of Curryman, usually it's the TNA aspects of him that they remember.
Okay. And how difficult is it wrestling in a mask?
It took a little while to get used to. It definitely took a while to get used to. When I first got the mask, the person that created it for me put mesh over the eyes and the mouth, and I had to cut that out right away because it was very distracting, and it was very hard to breathe. But I learned, it took a little while to get used to, but repetition is the key. And then over the course of the years, I got very used to it. So I mean, it is very difficult, and there are guys that go their whole career wrestling under a hood like that, and I definitely respect how difficult it can be. So I mean, as someone who's done it, I know all about it. But yeah, it's very difficult sometimes.
Well, thanks for doing this for us. Like I said, you're one of my favorite workers in the business, man. I love the way you work, and I loved you in TNA. You were awesome, man.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yep.
We will say hi to John.
Hey, what's up? You're my favorite. I remember in TNA, and you came to White Plains, New York.
Okay. Do you remember who I wrestled?
Yes, it was you and Frankie Kazarian versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Wow. Okay, that was a good one, I bet.
Yes, I like how you're doing the AEW. You're my favorite, and Frankie is too.
Great. Thank you so much, man. I'll let him know.
You're welcome. And you're the best. You should be like a GM there.
Well, if the opening ever tries, I'll throw my hat in the ring. If that
yes.
If that position opens up, I'll try and get there.
Okay. Thank you for coming on this show tonight. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir. Thank
Thanks,
you.
John.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
This is the first time we've had non-questions, and we've had two of them. So
I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's all good. Just straight comments.
I don't know if this popped up on your radar, Mr. Daniels, but last week AJ Styles was quoted on his Twitch channel, calling you one of the best ring generals ever. He said you knew all his moves, all your moves, and you could call it on the fly like no one else. He was one of the best I've ever shared the ring with, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you have, obviously I would assume, but do you have similar kind words for AJ Styles, or what would you say to him and his work ethic?
I feel like AJ is probably the best wrestler in the world right now. You can argue that if you want, but you're not going to convince me otherwise. And I was very fortunate to work with AJ to the point, it takes a while to get to know someone as well as AJ and I knew each other. And, we were very fortunate that when we were both coming up, promoters saw that we had great chemistry together, and they booked us all around the world. We've wrestled each other. He's probably the one guy I've wrestled more than anyone else in my career, and I've wrestled him in, I want to say, like 7 different countries, probably every state in the United States. So yeah, it takes a while, but I mean, that was one of the good things in working with someone like AJ. He was such so generous as a professional wrestler, and I felt like that was one of the reasons we worked well together, because we were both trying to make the other guy look good. And that when you put the match before your own self-interest, that's when great wrestling can happen. And so for me, yeah, he definitely probably the top guy in the world at this point. And the fact that he's he's been at that level and he stayed at that level. And the fact that he's got the success that he's got in World Wrestling Entertainment, it's a testament to how hard he works. And so I'm very happy for his success, and the fact that he feels that way about me does a lot, and I appreciate that.
Awesome. We'll say hi to Peter. Peter, your mic's muted, buddy.
There you go.
There he is.
That working?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Great.
So I'm going to ask you a question I'm sure you've never gotten before.
Okay, we'll see.
What's the worst town you've ever been to, and why?
They're all tied. If it's not Southern California, they're all tied for worst. So yeah, you're wherever you are. Where are you at right now?
In Phoenix.
Yeah, worst town I've ever been in. So
Fair enough. It sucks here. So, all right, that was it. I was just curious.
That's
what you were
it?
gonna say.
Wow, it took all this time to get on here. You asked me that one. What a softball!
All right, well,
I didn't even study
how
for
about
it.
this one? Let me throw
Okay,
a couple of compliments at you.
Okay. Okay.
So, I started watching TNA. I had to catch it on demand.
Okay.
I used to live in Utah, and they didn't have it on TV at all. We had it on demand, so I'd watch it about 6 months late.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, man, you were the reason I kept watching it, and I've been a huge fan of yours for years. I mean, you were the fact that they got you in AEW, that's what sold it on for me 100%. Awesome. I made sure I was at Double or Nothing for the very first Double or Nothing, and it was
very cool
of you and the rest of the SCU guys. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you, man. Thanks for following on. I said it before to someone else, but I'll say it again. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for fans like you supporting us, and not just supporting us, but supporting us wherever we go. Like, you watch me in TNA. I'm sure if you had an opportunity to watch me in Ring of Honor, you would. And now you're watching me in AEW. That sort of support is why professional wrestling is so great. And I say it to all my fans. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for guys like you. So thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Jacob. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Peter. So since no one's asking questions, I'm going to ask one. Obviously, Mr. Daniels, you're a collector of comic books. I'm not really into the comic books, but I love trading cards and sports cards. Are we ever going to see an AEW sports card?
It depends, man. I know back in TNA we had sports cards. We had trading cards. I don't know what trend in the same way that, for example, pops are the big thing now, and our action figures are just coming out. So I mean, I'm sure at some point AEW is probably going to go into Funko Pops. If trading cards do, been privy to those decisions, so it's very possible that as soon as we hang up, they'll announce the AEW trade card set. But anything's possible, man. I feel like with the growth of our company, we're looking to do all kinds of things, and that's certainly something we could do.
Awesome. I would mark out super for those. We're gonna go to Hector. What's up, Hector?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, man. Thanks for coming on.
We actually met before. You did a Warrior Wrestling in Chicago. You were like one of the last wrestlers that I actually shook hands with before shaking hands was a thing. And so,
understood.
My one question was, there's a rumor out there that you were supposed to be the Greater Power in 1999, and I just wanted to know how true or not true was that rumor, and were you any close to signing with WWE in the late 90s?
I was never close to signing with them. Probably the closest was when I went through the Funking Dojo. They gave me an opportunity to go through a camp with Tom Pritchard and Dory Funk Jr. And I was there with Kurt Angle and Sean Stasiak and Steve Williams and some other people. As far as the rumor about me being the higher power, I've heard that. I didn't hear it at the time. I've heard that just recently. I don't think it would have been a good idea, because I think the mentality of them making a character that would have basically been someone that the Undertaker was answering to and having it be basically a virtual unknown to the crowd, I think it would have been a disappointment. Like if they had introduced me as someone who is basically the Undertaker's boss, I feel like it would have fell flat. Especially, like, I understand. I'm 200 pounds. I'm 500. I'm 5'10". So it certainly would have been very difficult for people to take me seriously as someone who was intimidating The Undertaker. So, like, I would have been okay being, like, an underneath guy for The Undertaker. Like, if I was part of his ministry at that time, that would have been cool. But I think being the higher power probably wasn't going to fly, and it's probably a good thing they didn't do it.
Because you guys did the Exalted One spoof at Revolution, and I thought that was like a play on that, so I wasn't entirely sure.
No, that was all a spoof on the Exalted One, and I sort of wish I had done that now because Brody Lee is real and his clothesline hurts. So,
all right, thank you for taking the time, and stay safe and stay healthy,
You
and
too.
hopefully we can get back to normal soon.
Heck yeah,
Thanks,
man! Wear your
Hector.
mask. Thank you, bud.
I will. I always do.
Awesome.
We will say hi to Giovanni Too Hottie.
Hey, CD. Hey,
Giovanni Too Hottie, what's up, man?
what's going on, brother?
Master of the Worm, I hope.
You know, maybe the caterpillar, not the worm.
Just here, man. Here, what's going on? Okay, fair enough.
The first time I met you, I don't know if you remember, but it was at StarCast, and it was all three of the SCU guys, you, Kaz, and Sky.
Ah, you were
Yeah,
that guy
exactly.
at that place. I got you.
But
Exactly.
I marked out really bad for you, and I'm going on and telling you about,
Okay.
we bootleg cable to watch you in TNA, and
Oh,
I'm
boy.
going
Just
you,
admitting to a felony. Okay,
you know,
cool.
basically.
Yep, I
And
got you.
Kaz is right behind you, and he goes, "Oh, just CD." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, I like you too, but CD's the best."
Well, I'm sure he appreciates being told that every once in a while.
Right.
So,
But I think my question would be kind of to piggyback off of what Hector was going at earlier. If you were the Exalted One, what would you have done with the Dark Order that hasn't been done yet?
that's a good question, man. I don't know if there's anything to do with them except maybe branch certain members off towards certain titles. Like, I feel like obviously the Dark Order themselves, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson are the choice to go towards the tag titles. But I feel like, if I was the Exalted One, I would probably try and find some guys going for the TNT title and some guys going for the heavyweight title. Just sort of pick and choose my best fighters for those roles.
Right.
And, and just keep mixing it up, man. I think one of the things that they've got on their favor is the sheer numbers. And they've got a lot of young talent coming up, and they've got some guys that have got experience that, are helping those younger talents become better. So, I mean, and especially with Brody right now, Brody has got a lot of momentum. He's the TNT champion, and I feel like they're a very strong unit right now. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with them in the coming months.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, CD, and have a great
man.
one.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Giovanni.
buddy.
Thank
Mr. Daniels, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and you can totally take a pass if
Okay.
you'd like. As head of talent relations in AEW, who do you think is the biggest up-and-coming star you guys have currently on the roster?
Ooh, I feel like there's a couple of people that I would like to point out. First of all, I feel like Scorpio Sky is definitely someone, and I don't say that just because he's one of my close friends, but I feel like we're very lucky to have Scorpio Sky on the AEW roster. I feel like he's only needed an opportunity to sort of break out, and I feel like he's done that in the past. When he wrestled Cody for the TNT title, and he entered the ring by kicking down a door, I thought that was a great symbol of him finally sort of reaching the stature that he deserves. And I feel like the sky, honestly, pun intended, the sky's the limit for him. Another group of guys that I think are unsung heroes, even though they're just now sort of coming into their own, is Jurassic Express, especially Marco Stunt. I feel like Marco Stunt, a lot of people, they see what he is, or they look at him and they think they know what he is, but he's much smarter and much more talented than people give him credit for. I feel like they just look at the small kid and they think, oh, that's all he's got. But he's very smart. He knows how to play to his strengths. And I feel like all three of them, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, they're just now sort of finding their groove as a trio. And I think that there's great stuff in the future for all three of them.
Awesome. We have 2 more people here, but one it looks like is
There we
gone,
go.
so we might have only one more. We will say hi to Spencer. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, CD?
Hey, Spencer.
I'm doing
How are
great.
you, man?
Hey, want to say thank you again for doing this. We really do appreciate it. I've seen you back in like your days of Impact, TNA, when you were wrestling with AJ Styles and everything. So I'm definitely been a longtime supporter fan. Okay. So you alluded to my question earlier, but we can kind of break it down a little bit more.
Okay.
You said Scorpio Sky has, again, no pun intended, the sky is the limit for him. I definitely think he's a very bright spot on AEW, and he has a very bright future ahead of him for sure. There are some people that I've heard say he like should have gone to NXT or something, or might go there eventually. And maybe the way he's been used in AEW, like when he first started off wasn't good, but now it's better because he's had the shot with the TNT title and he's getting more of like a singles push, but also still a part of SCU. So my thing is like, do you think like he might contend? He did contend for the TNT championship, but do you think maybe down the line that he's won the tag titles? Do you think you could possibly see him as a future AEW world champion?
Oh, we might have lost him.
Hello?
Oh, it looks like we might have lost Mr. Daniels. I'll pull him back up, though.
Absolutely. I attend for the best company. And it's just a matter of getting the. I feel like he took Cody to the limit when Cody was TNT champion.
Right. Oh no.
No, we lost Mr. Daniels.
Oh man.
His connection was not the greatest all night, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're gonna end it there anyway, because we only had you and Austin.
Oh man, I wanted to get Austin on.
Yeah, no, I was waiting. I'll wait a minute here and see what happens.
Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, there he might be back.
Hello.
Let's see we're there. There we go.
Hey, sorry, man. I don't know what happened, but as I was saying, yes, I think Scorpio Sky could definitely wrestle for the world title. I think it's just a matter of time before he gets more opportunities. He already wrestled Chris Jericho when he was champion. So, yeah, I definitely think it's just a matter of getting him those opportunities. And I certainly feel like he could be world champion for us in the future.
Okay. And then also, like with you guys, SCU, just want to say, hey, big, wasn't really a big fan of like the thing until like BTE, so that really got me into it. And then like I've been following ever since. So that was definitely a good jumping off point. And the SCU chant, the worst down ever, that's been an amazing bit for sure. Now, Scorpio Sky and Kaz, they won the tag titles. Could you see you and Kaz or maybe Scorpio going for the tag titles again? I know you guys had an opportunity last night against FTR. Is that something you want to continue to do?
Absolutely. I felt like if I hadn't been attacked at the beginning of the tag tournament, Frankie and I could have easily won that tournament and been tag team champions. But I mean, circumstances happened the way they happened. Him and Sky became the first tag team champions. I think it's just a matter of getting that opportunity. And, you know, I understood why FTR challenged Sky and Frankie as them being the first tag team champions. They had something to prove. And, you know, I don't think they proved it 100% without Tully Blanchard's help last night. But, I think that Frankie and myself, we just need to get in a groove. And we can start contending for those titles at any moment. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, awesome. Again, hey, thank you for your time. I know earlier you guys were talking about the trading cards. You also mentioned the Funko Pops. I don't know if you can see in the back, I collect Funko Pops. have all the wrestling ones, so would definitely love to get some AEW ones and especially some SCU ones. And then I can't wait to get y'all's figures when they come out.
Thanks, guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Mr. Janis, before we hop into our last question, I got one more for you. How difficult is it being in between, like being one of the boys, but also being a front office personnel? How difficult is it navigating the two roles?
For me, it's not that difficult. I feel like I treat people with respect. I feel like everybody respects me. I'm very fortunate in that instance that everybody sort of looks at me. I feel like because I've been around as long as I have, I feel like people already respected me, which is one of the reasons that Matt and Nick Jackson proposed that I should do this job. So it hasn't been hard in that respect. And I feel like as long as I continue to treat the guys with the respect that they deserve, it's not going to be difficult. I never talk down to these guys. I recognize the efforts that they put into their careers and the reasons that we brought them onto AEW. And I feel like as long as we treat our talent with respect, they're going to treat the vice presidents, the office guys, the people that are helping the show get made. They're going to treat us with respect as well. And that's always been my thing, is just, show the respect that the people deserve. The people that are in the roles, the things, the work that they're doing, it deserves their respect. And so like that's been one thing that I've been very cognizant of as I've had this job.
Awesome. We're going to hop into our last one of the night. We will say hi to Austin.
Hey, CD, man. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
My pleasure, sir. Thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem. I got a couple of questions really quick. The first one being, through year one of AEW, the women's division has come under some criticism, but it's obvious how much improvement they've had. Are there a handful of matches maybe that you could name where you guys felt like you were on the right track with them?
Well, I feel like we've made some great strides as far as like getting women involved in our company. I feel like the signing of Serena Deeb, the signing of Chris Statlander, we started out with Nyla Rose, we started out with Hikaru Shida, we started out with Rio, but adding those girls, adding talent like Ivelisse and Diamante, like these are all steps towards building up a viable women's division. And I feel like the difficulty that we have is that we have 1 2-hour show every week, and it's difficult with everybody fighting for opportunities to be on television, and the women are in that same boat. So it's difficult to show everybody off when you've only got 2 hours. So hopefully, with the advent of our basically when Turner re-signed us for, I want to say 4 years, they talked about doing a second show. When that second show comes around, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to feature more talent, both men and women. And, and hopefully with that extra real estate, you'll be able to see more talented wrestlers come to the forefront and show what they can do.
All right. And then my second question here is about Abaddon. So she's obviously a very unique character and personality, and almost kind of has that less is more factor to her. So what kind of challenge does that present to manage that and book that? And what kind of improvement have you seen her make along the way?
Well, I feel like the difficulty for that style of gimmick is just, like you said, sort of the less is more. I think there's a natural tendency to want to do everything you can do. And I don't think that sort of serves that particular type of character. So, I mean, the tough part for her is sort of like deciding what she can show and what she shouldn't show as far as being an athlete. And I feel like she's learning that from a lot of people in the back. A lot of people are taking her under their wing and sort of letting her know, like, this is something you want to hold off on. This is something you want to just show bits and pieces of. You don't want to give away the store in your first, month, 2 months of being a character, because you want to have places to go. You want to have a trajectory.
All right, man. Hey, I really appreciate everything you've done for the business, and having somebody like you come on to PWJ is a huge honor for us. So thanks for taking the time to do this.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
Thanks,
being here
Austin.
tonight. I appreciate it.
So, Mr. Daniels, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And besides for Wednesday nights on AEW Dynamite, where can everybody else find you and see you and check you out?
That's really it, man. If you're on my Twitter, I'm at FAC Daniels. Instagram is at FA Christopher Daniels. So you can see my silly hijinks there. You can watch me on Being the Elite every Monday. And like I said, hopefully much more involved. Hopefully I get more matches on Dynamite in the near future. And when the next show comes around and when the second show comes on, hopefully there'll be a wider variety of talent. Because we got a lot of people in our locker room right now that aren't getting the time and hopefully can get more time when we get more real estate on television. So follow along, man. And thanks again for having me. And thank you to all the fans that showed up tonight. I said it before, I'll say it again. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for passionate fans like you guys. So thanks for having me and thanks for the support.